Bought for 65 grand in sunny, rainy South Wales. The refurb on this one is just over about 33.5k, end value 130. Let's show you around. We've just started the renovation on it. It's a full rip out and we've got other bits going on. Let's show you around. So a bit dark in here, but like I said, bought for 65,000 pound. Refurb on this one is about 33.5 grand. The expected end value once post refurb is about 130,000 pounds, sorry. And the rental income post refurb is about 750 pounds. If you can't hear me, let me know as well. But basically, we're about a week's worth into the refurb. We've ripped all the wallpaper off, ripped all the carpentry off. We've hacked this by here. There was damp at the property. So what we did was we hacked this part off, and you'll see in the living room the same sort of thing. So you'll see when you see the bricks, that's because we've ripped off literally that part. There was damp issues on the back end, so that's what we've done. First fix electrics are in as well. Obviously, like I said, we ripped all this out, ripped all the electrics out that we didn't need. This is pretty much, it's not a full back to brick refurb, it's like a full refurb plus partially back to brick in some areas. We're going to put new electrics in back here. So electrics are back here, it's all going to be fully redone and everything. We've got the supply there, it's just a case of actually doing the other bits. As you can tell, this whole property is very, very horrible. It's a lovely area, good location, but it's absolutely stinking. So like I said, we've ripped the whole thing out. We've got certain areas of damp that we're sorting out as well. So this has all been completely ripped off. You may be sat there wondering why we're even doing this. So what we do is we literally find rundown properties like this within South Wales, completely renovate them, buy them with a discount, completely renovate them, increase the value, and then refinance on the back end. It's literally known as a buy, renovate, refinance model. The reason we do this is literally to help people build their portfolios with properties just like this. So it looks absolutely horrible and stinking at the moment. As you can see, it's just plain walls. It's very, very dark, very horrible in here. What I would recommend, if you want to see the finished project or finished product on what we do, check our other videos on the YouTube channel, and you'll see exactly the sort of projects we actually work with and the end finish we do. This is the horrible start where we ripped everything off. We've got bare brick walls here. We've got, you know, plastering to be done. We've literally got plaster upstairs doing all this. And it's kind of like the finish we go for all these is absolutely amazing, honestly. So this is why these properties are being bought for, like, let's say 65 grand. And then after a full renovation, nearly 40 grand spent on a refurb, for example, they can be worth over double that. So 130, etc., etc. Like I said, this one's going to rent out on the back end for at least 750 pounds per calendar month. The investor for this one is from Bristol, so in England. And he's got, I think he had about 65k there to invest, and he wanted to build a portfolio. This one is his first one with us, so we've done this completely hands-off for him, where we sourced the property, secured the discount, we do the renovation for him, and then we get it refinanced for him once we've completed the renovation. So you buy, renovate, refinance, and then we get it letted. So I'll keep showing you the project now in terms of what we're actually doing, and let's go from there. Okay, so I hope with the tight space you can see what's going on, but basically we've got, if I trip over everything as well, basically what you've got is you've got the first fix electrics in, happy days. This wall, this is the kitchen area, by the way, just to clarify. So we've ripped the whole kitchen off. You can't really see it too on the camera, but we've ripped all the units off, because the reason there's bare walls here is because it's all been ripped out. Spare space, we've got the plumbing in, got the electrics first fix. We're going to block this wall off to create more space, because so we've got a flat wall to utilize. So you can have a flat wall by here, have this for units, have this for units. We've got a window by here as well for space. And like I said, we've got the electrics installed, so we can utilize them. Again, double sockets, very, very self-explanatory. It's a case of when we approach these properties, it's a case of what floor plan do we have, how can we maximize the space. So whether it's maximizing the area by blocking the walls, I'll show you the bathroom in a moment where we're going to knock a wall down to increase the space. Because one thing that we look at is if we're doing these projects and we're renovating them, and we want to refinance them at the increased value, we want a valuer to come in on the back end post refurb and be like, okay, this is a beautiful property, maximize the floor plan, maximize the space. We've got a larger kitchen, a larger bathroom, it's all there for them. So it's kind of, and it makes it more appealing for tenants as well. So if you're factoring your budgets, doing these refurbs yourself, for example, make sure you've got the exit in mind before getting your refurb calculated, so that you know exactly what you're going to be doing in it before actually doing the project, before going too far into it. Because what you don't want to do is come in here expecting a 30k refurb, suddenly you've got to knock a wall down, you've got to do this, do that to achieve your end value. Get your exit in mind first and then work backwards, essentially. So like I said, this is a full renovation. That's why it looks so dark and horrible in here, but we love these. We love problem properties because we can buy them at a discount, we can renovate them, and we can refinance at increased value. and yeah, show you the bathroom. Let's go into it. This is actually the worst angle in the world for this little clip, but the reason I'm showing this angle is to show this wall here. So this is the walk-through from the kitchen into the bathroom. What we're going to do is going to knock this wall through. The reason being is you got the rest of the bathroom in here, and you had a toilet by here. We're going to knock this wall through to have this as an open space, to have a larger bathroom. Because at the end of the day, kitchens and bathrooms add a lot of value to properties. So kitchen, bathrooms and bedrooms. So if you're maximising your kitchen area, maximising your bathroom area, and adding a bedroom upstairs, which you don't have to do, you don't have to force it, but you get the point. If you do these things, you're maximising the value on the back end. So we're knocking this wall through, still structurally sound, structurally solid and everything, and supported, but at least you get the picture in that way. Also, this is obviously the bathroom. What you've got behind me is a water heater. So because of energy efficiency, EPCs, we don't want a water heater in here, we want a boiler, combi boiler. So we've got a gas supply, we've got electric supply. So therefore what we're gonna do is we're gonna rip this thing out, rip this cupboard out, install a brand new central heating system, which is gonna have a combi boiler in. For energy efficiency, the combi boiler is gonna have a controller on it. It's gonna have TRVs in every radiator, which basically means that every radiator is going to have thermostatic radiator valves, which means it's going to be energy efficient. The whole point of these comments is for the EPC rating, which means that the property is going to be as energy efficient as it needs to be. So we expect to hit a C rating on every renovation project we do. So every refurb we do, we expect to hit a C rating on the EPC post refurb. So things like the boilers, things like the radiators, you've got the electrics for LED lighting, you've got the insulation loft. You need to make sure that your EPC is a C rating post refurb to make sure that you're essentially future proofing the property. Because if your energy efficiency is a C rating, EPC rating is a C, at least you're covering yourself legally. Because if the government changes to require C rating in future, which could potentially happen in the next couple of years, you're protecting. So spend your money today and then go from there. Here is the bathroom area. Again, totally ripped out. It's all completely bare right now, same as the kitchen. But like I said before, we are going to knock this wall through and have a big space behind me. So bedroom number one. So this is the box room, but not box room, this is the single bedroom. And what you've got is you've got first fix electrics in already. You've got all the wallpaper and flooring ripped off. So it's going to be fully plastered, it's going to have new electrics in. It's a very, very full refurb where everything's been ripped off, even the radiators are being ripped off, because obviously you can do central heating and all that. So again, first fix electrics in, 2 double sockets in the bedroom. Got electrics in here. The window is good. We're going to change the window pane, but the window's actually not too bad. And yeah, basically you see how simple bedrooms are. You can have flooring, plastering, painting, lighting, radiator, window. It's pretty much every bedroom, right? So again, you can see how back to brick it all is. You can see how rough all this is. But even here, you can see you can have a brand new door by here as well. Install it. Happy days. And this pipework here we're going to cover as well, have it all boxed in, just to make sure it's all neat and tidy. So here's the landing, nice open space and everything. Again, wallpaper ripped off, flooring's up. We're going to replace this as well, because this is, I want to kind of have spindles in here, so get this sorted out. Sorry, with the banister, can't you see that on the camera? But again, electrics are in, wallpaper, flooring. It's very, very simple in these, but you can see how ripped out they are. This is a very standard full renovation for us. So if you're charging about, this one's going to be around about 35k all in terms of the refurb size and cost. Now, I'd expect that as a normal refurb cost. As a 3-bed terrace property in South Wales, 33k is about normal, because you've got to factor in your plastering, electric, central heating, all those different elements. And with these, are very self-explanatory, because you're ripping everything out, putting it all back in. Windows are very important because windows are very expensive. So you've got to make sure you factor in those. Make sure, again, you've got your layout, make sure your kitchen and bathrooms are maximised for value. And it's always important for refurbs. Spend £1 to increase the value by 3. There's no point in spending money on refurbs for the sake of spending money, because you're not making it your home, you're making it a good quality buy-to-let investment. So just be careful with that, guys. So bedroom number 2 is a 3-bed property, by the way. It's a 3-bed, just to clarify that, because I didn't reset before. But bedroom number 2, again, very, very simple. So rip the wallpaper off. We've literally got the flooring out already. Electric's already in place throughout. You can see the trend. Radiators off the wall, which you're going to put by here. So it's very, very simple. Got the window behind you for good lighting as well. It's a good, nice little area. So it's a very simple project. So just for context, like I said, the client's from Bristol. They had about 60 to 70k to invest to build a portfolio with. It's their first project with us. It's actually their first investment project. So it's actually quite sweet for them to be able to be like us to organise the whole process for them, because that's kind of what we're here for, literally for people to have capital, build a portfolio with, and they want to progress that way. So happy days. The return on investment for this one's around about 18 to 20%, which is kind of similar for what we do for most projects. We're probably doing around about 10 projects a month like this, and they're all very, very similar in terms of numbers. So at least that kind of helps elaborate on figures. So essentially, if you're looking to build a portfolio within South Wales with projects just like this, again, returns on this one can range between around about 18 to 22%. But so long as the capital's there, ideally at least 35 grand, but if not, up to 100, 200 and 500 grand, it can range. Like you could literally get this going with about 35k with a much nicer property, or you could do this with 100k or 500k. Depends how much you want to build it with. The whole point of doing this is so you can pretty much lay out over the next 5 years how aggressively you want to build it. And one thing that we do on all of our calls, whenever we talk to people who want to build portfolios just like this, is genuinely figure out, okay, like what's the plan here? Like what do you actually want to build? How aggressively do you want to build a portfolio? And go from there. So what I would do is if you're interested in properties like this, where you're buying them for, let's say, 65 grand, renovating them, refinancing them at the increased value, jump on a call with us. There's a link in the description to the video on how to do that. Again, we do about 10 of these a month, if not 12 of these a month. So we've got a whole team in South Wales who does this. So yeah, if you want to get involved, then definitely give me a message. But you can see how simple these projects are. It's very much standard buy-to-lets, nothing crazy about them. We don't do anything crazy like SA or HMOs or anything. Very standard buy-to-lets. It keeps things simple. You've got one tenant in there. Even with the new rules and regulations of the government coming in, we still have buy-to-lets. Buy-to-lets will always be needed. That's why we do them. Like if there's one strategy that works in long term, it will be buy-to-let because everyone needs homes. So appreciate the video. If you want to like and subscribe, be sure to do so. If you guys got anything you want to be added to the videos so that when you actually watch them, you can kind of watch back and be like, okay, there's some value that wasn't there that I actually wanted, give me a comment and I'll respond to that and put that in the next one. But genuinely, they're very, very similar. So here you are, and speak to you guys soon.